It would be a mistake to read this book as if it were a biography. Mademoiselle Dostoyevsky expressly calls it a study, and to this the reader must add that it is a study by a daughter. The letters, the facts, the testimonies of friends, even to a great extent the dates which support the orthodox biography, are here absent, or are introduced as if they happen to suit the writer's purpose. And what is a daughter's purpose in writing a study of her father? We need not judge her very severely if she wishes us to see him as she saw him, upright, affectionate, infallible, or, if he had his failings, she is to be excused if she represents them as the foibles of greatness. He was extravagant, perhaps. He gambled sometimes. There were seasons when, misled by the wiles of women, he strayed from the paths of virtue. We can make allowance for these filial euphemisms, and if we come to feel, as this book makes us feel, that the daughter was fond as well as proud of her father, that is a real addition to our knowledge. At the same time, we should have listened more sympathetically if Mademoiselle Dostoyevsky had suppressed her version of the quarrel between Dostoyevsky and Turgenev. To make out that your father is a hero is one thing. To insist that his enemies are villains is another. Yet she must have it that all the blame was on Turgenev's side, that he was jealous, a snob, even more cruel and malicious than the others. She neglects the testimony supplied by Turgenev's own works, and, what is more serious, makes no mention of the evidence on the other side, which must be known to her. The effect is naturally to make the reader scrutinize Dostoyevsky's character more closely than he would otherwise have done. He asks himself inevitably what there was in the man to cause this shrill and excited partisanship on the part of his daughter. The search for an answer, among the baffling yet illuminating materials which Mademoiselle Dostoyevsky supplies, is the true interest of this book. If we were to be guided by her, we should base our inquiry upon the fact that Dostoyevsky was of Lithuanian descent on his father's side. Mademoiselle Dostoyevsky has read Gobineau and shows a perverse ingenuity and considerable industry in attributing almost every mental and moral characteristic to race heredity. Dostoyevsky was a Lithuanian and thus loved purity. He was a Lithuanian and thus paid his brother's debts. He was a Lithuanian and thus wrote bad Russian. He was a Lithuanian and thus a devout Catholic. When he complained that he had a strange and evil character, he did not realize that it was neither strange nor evil, but simply Lithuanian. As Dostoyevsky himself never attached much importance to his descent, we may be allowed to follow his example. We shall not come much closer to him by pursuing that track.